Good morning. Oh my gosh, I don't know if my computer will stand up because it's like the battery is so low. Where the battery? There's nothing left. I don't think I can get through this video, but um oh my gosh. Good morning everybody. Oh my god. How is everybody today? I'm just trying to wake up and it's way past my wake up time. But yeah, you know how they say the old gray mare ain't what she used to be. The old gray mare. Anyway, so so what is this one about? This one is about Archewell. Apparently, some French journalist or a French publication did this expose on Meghan and Harry and Archewell recently, which to me was a little bit. I mean, I was a little bit. I don't know if the word is shocked, but I was like, really, wow, and it seems that the objective or the sort of takeaway was this vibe of negativity, this vibe of suspicion, this vibe of you know um, this implication, if you will, that somehow Meghan and Harry's foundation is some kind of scam. I don't know if they actually said it's a scam, but whatever they left the viewers with to draw their own conclusions, it seems that that's really what they hope that the takeaway is, that Archewell is a scam and Meghan and Harry is a scam. And so I was like, wow. It seems to me that the warfare against Meghan and Harry has now entered a second level because, the types of things they're now doing is very second level. I mean, before it's sort of like more superficial things, or Kate is copying Meghan, or, more superficial things that even teenagers can wrap their heads around. But now they're really going to a different levels. I guess maybe they feel that they were not successful on a superficial level, so they are amplifying this warfare. It's like the objective is total destruction, like death and destruction to Meghan and Harry. I think I have to make that conclusion. So now they're now attacking Archewell, So if they can attack Archewell and show that it's somehow a scam or illegal, that, I guess they want to get these people thrown in prison. I mean, I don't know. Well, one of the things they're saying about Archewell is that so the French guy left France and went to Montecito, California. He flew to Montecito. I mean, that's deep, right? That's really deep. And then he went in search of their offices, and he, interviewed people. He even attacked Better Up, which is the organization that Harry works with on his mental health initiatives. And he interviewed an ex-employee from Better Up, who who spoke about, I don't even know the culture in Better Up. I guess they're saying that it's not an inclusive culture in Better Up, so that makes Harry a fraud. I mean, all of this is sort of to tie back to Harry and Meghan. So he interviews some ex-employee at Better Up to prove that Harry is a bad person, and makes this like part of an expose, which is in French. I did not see it, but the idea is, if French people are watching this and they're not bothering to question it or to do their own research, they can come away from this believing that Meghan and Harry are frauds and scams, which I can assure you, if that was the case, they're in a country with laws, right? I mean, they would have been investigated and imprisoned a long time ago by the U.S., the U.S. Uh, government, pretty much. So, but the thing is that when somebody comes from France, somebody comes from Kazakhstan, they come from Turkey, they come from Israel, wherever they come from in their language, and they fly to Montecito in their language and create all this craziness. I mean, it's hard to tell people when they go back to their countries with their nonsense, to tell people in that country that it's nonsense because they make it look so real. So one of the things they talk about is the fact that Archewell is incorporated in Delaware, and apparently Meghan and Harry have a lot of other companies incorporated in Delaware. And so that's part of, I guess, the vibe of scam, because I mean, you're in Beverly Hills. Why are you incorporating in Delaware? And the fact is that in America, a lot of companies are incorporated in Delaware because Delaware has, I mean, and I'm not incorporated in Delaware, so I don't really know all that, the benefits, but Delaware is known to have many benefits for companies, right? A lot of companies incorporate in Delaware. They have tax benefits. They have, privacy benefits. They have a lot of benefits. And so, smart entrepreneurs who they have money, they mean business, they're building their empires. They incorporate in Delaware, and that's perfectly legal. So for people in France who are watching these types of exposés in French by these people who seem to be an authority on the information, I mean, let's just start there. What in the name of God does their incorporation in Delaware have to do with anything? That you're going to make that a big thing. The other thing they talked about is the fact that Harry and Meghan did not give away all their money. Apparently, Harry and Meghan made $13 million last year, and I guess they're big scammers because they only gave away something like 3 million or something like that. And the fact of the matter is, I mean, and I'm not an expert on this type of stuff, but my understanding is that for private foundations or charities or whatever you want to call it, like Archewell, the law in the United States is that you have to give a minimum of 5% per year. You have to give away 5% of your money in order to qualify for the designation as a charitable foundation. And Meghan and Harry had about 13 million and they gave away 3 million. I think that's more than 5%, right? I mean, I don't have a calculator. I mean, 13 million, um, 13 million, if you have 13 million, 130,000 is 1%, right? Now, maybe that's even 10%. I don't know. I don't know. I can't do the math in my head. I'd need a calculator. What is 10% of 13 million? So okay, so I just did it. They gave, okay, so they had 13 million. Okay, so they gave 3 million. That's 3 million, okay? Divided by 13. 13 million, which is what they had, okay? That's the percentage, 23%, times 100 equals, they gave 23%. Okay, so they, by law, are required to give 5% in order to keep their designation as a foundation. And they gave 23%. Yeah, no, they're required to give 5%, and they gave 23%. And they are criminals, according to this French guy. He didn't say they were criminals, but he basically left you with that question in your mind that the fact that they did not give 100% of their foundation's revenues meant that they were scammers. They left this perception in the mind of the viewer, which is very misleading as far as I'm concerned, because I'm sure that they know that the law in the United States is that to keep your designation as a charitable foundation, you are required to give a minimum of 5%. And these people gave 23%, right? And this idea with the thing with Delaware, again, in America, many companies, many millions of companies incorporate in Delaware because it has better benefits than other states, right? The corporate laws of Delaware are more favorable than the laws in other states. Okay, so the primary effect of this formula is to ensure that of the 5% of the net assets that a private non-operating foundation must distribute on the Internal Revenue Code 4942D, etc., etc., etc. So it's 5%. They have to distribute 5%. If you are involved in any way with a private foundation, you will no doubt be familiar with the 5% payout rule. As advocates for effective philanthropy, all of us said da 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 da. Okay, so there's a 5% rule, okay? In short, the US government expects foundations to use their assets to benefit society, and it enforces this through Section 4942 of the Internal Revenue Code, which requires private foundations to distribute 5% of the fair market value of their endowment each year for charitable purposes. 5%. I repeat, 5%. I repeat, 5%. Right. So this guy coming into Montecito, California from France, trying to, I don't know what, I mean, well, I do know what his purpose obviously is, but I mean, for all those other people, especially young people in France, please, there are laws and rules in the United States, and the reason that the Sussexes did not distribute 100% of their endowment is because they don't have to do it, and frankly, it would be stupid to do it, right? Why would you give away your entire endowment? It's just stupid. They gave away 23%, and they're required to give 5% under American law. Okay, this is the facts, right? So let's just keep that in mind. So this guy, this French um, journalist or whatever you call him, also went to the headquarters listed for Archewell, which is 9665 Wilshire Boulevard in Beverly Hills, California, right? 90212, Eric, zip code. And that was a whole other big thing that he showed, that he went into the building and there was nobody in the building. The offices were empty. And, so he leaves the listener with, or the viewer with the sense, all of this going to prove that Harry and Meghan are a bunch of scammers because Archewell is not real. And so I'm really not sure whether in France they have things called virtual offices in France. I'm pretty sure there are some. I mean, in Paris, like I'm not even sure when, near Galleries Lafayette, Boulevard Haussmann, and places like that. I think they have virtual offices. So I'm absolutely 100% sure that this journalist, who I'm sure is so much more sophisticated than I am, knows about the concept of virtual offices. And he knows that many entrepreneurs, including myself, have virtual offices. Everybody has a virtual office. Anyone who has any sense in their heads right now why would anybody pay hundreds of thousands of dollars per year for overhead expenses like a rental on a fixed office when they can have a virtual office and be more nomadic, be more flexible, more able to work from anywhere in the world, to work from home if they want, to work from a foreign country if they want. Everybody, you know, everyone today is moving towards a virtual office. And this guy knows this. I'm sure that he too has a virtual office, right, wherever he lives in France. But he's going to take a plane, go over to Montecito, California, then drive up to Beverly Hills or however he gets there to visit an office that is listed as the office of Archewell and to show the viewers in France that there's nobody in the office, to tell a whole country of people who most of whom don't speak English, to persuade them and to convince them that this proves that Meghan and Harry are fake, Archewell is a hoax, and so on and so forth. I find that to be really, really horrible, awful, awful. Especially because, I deal with teenagers here in France. I have students who are teenagers, and they're very, very impressionable, very, very impressionable. And you have some French journalists going over to Montecito and coming back with this crap, and putting it in French on French television for these people or wherever they put it. They're going to be convinced and persuaded very easily, you see. And this is how they build hate, as if there isn't enough in the world. And I just find it really sick and really deplorable because this person should know better.